All right, all right. What's good? What's good? Um, Give people enough time to get here, so it necessarily won't be too much dead air. Um, I'm kind of yeah, I know I'm kind of rusty because I haven't done one of these and how long, but so just bear with me. But yeah, though. Hey, what up, Irby? Yeah, Irby is it's around that time, man. We gotta talk about it. Oh yes, we definitely gonna talk about some shit that is definitely taking place, and I'm definitely will be dropping that link. Give me a minute, because this is some BS that if I ain't never seen or never heard, and I didn't even really think that it was gonna get to this point. But you never know. See, motherfuckers is just ignorant, unfortunately. And yes, it is a crabs in a barrel or bucket mentality that I guess when you're a part of a certain profession and you do an occupation that creates a certain type of audience, as well as, a certain person who's gravitating towards that audience, you will tend to create a bit of chaos. Well, more than just a little bit under the notion. But yeah, because everybody's pretty much talked about it or gave their 2 cents. I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it. On the whole Kendrick Lamar Drake situation, and so far, from what I've seen, there was a video that was sent to me about Drake's mansion out in Toronto was shot up, and not only did a friend of his I believe, got shot during that shooting, but I think his security also got shot up as well. And you do have people, unfortunately, that is defending this as if it was supposed to happen. And I don't know what exactly. Security guard got shot. Yes. Either way, when I saw it, my impression was, why hasn't anybody been arrested yet? Now it's been said that it was Kendrick Lamar who doxed Drake's information, apparently, because you'll have folks that once something happened, they try to cover their own tail. They'll cover their own tails just to say, "Oh, I didn't do that. Somebody else did." Okay, y'all. It's a lot of hood room spinning and mind effery, to be exact, if that makes sense. Crazy K Dot fans. But yeah, but at the same time, this is coming from the same Kendrick or K Dot that was saying, he's not allowed to say the N word, and now you got people who are K Dot fans basically using that exact same ideology to apply it to MLS men. What you have is, and what you also have, keep in mind, a lot of talking out of both sides of your neck. Hey, what up, Carl? That Family Matters songs buried them. And you know what? I may have to, and I may have to listen to that. I'm definitely gonna, I'm definitely gonna have to take a listen to that. Oh, just checked in. But you know what though? But what really kills me is that there's a lot that's been said and that's been done by not necessarily people who resemble all of us in this particular space, but also this group. Well, not just this group, but oh, yeah, give me just a sec. Hey, what up, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. You know, it's good to see you. Good to see
Back
you.
on it. Good to see you too, man. Yeah, for sure, man. But I don't know where you left off or whatever. It was the sound, well, not the sound, but the timing on your video versus the stream yard was off. So I don't know where you stopped off.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I think right before I added you, I was saying how there's a lot of things that's been done a lot worse than what people who may resemble Drake or who may be falling into Drake's complexion of range.
Uh huh.
That that in comparisons to what we do, in comparisons to what others may do, including themselves, we're still getting the full backlash or the brunt or of scrutiny that others don't go through, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
And
Um. Yeah. It's just a convenient. It's like a convenience of how can I say it? Like a convenience of approximation. That I keep saying that. It's just like it's very convenient and easy to do that. And what he was doing, others was doing, it was pretty much a full on assault, full on assault from all angles. And I guess it led all up to what happened today. But from what I saw, and like I said, all this is entertainment, but it's amazing how entertainment can galvanize people so much so that it becomes a part of how they live and how they feel towards like real life people in their lives. So it's crazy how incidents like this can spill over into how people treat people in real life, and it definitely does. But yeah, about that situation. I mean, yeah, he's a hated guy. People called him like an industry plan and so forth, and he was backed by X, Y, different people and so forth in the industry. And who knows what happens in the entertainment world? We don't know. For all we know, we're not behind the scenes. We don't know all the deals done and who says what and who controls what. That's just hearsay. But yeah, when you do add what they talk about with the whole racial element and how this person who they basically said didn't deserve where he was at, he, other than his racial background and so forth and his connections or whatever, it really is pathetic because, um, you know, where's all this energy for others, who if they have those type of allegations, they won't attack them like that, especially won't attack who they are. They may attack what they do, but they don't necessarily go immediately to who they are and think that that's open. Now, some people were like, well, in the rap beef and the rap battle, the rules don't matter. But if you reverse that and you start attacking others for who they are, now all of a sudden, oh, you need to stop. That's going too far. Blah blah blah. Whatever, whatever. Which one is it? Which one is it? That's why I was on the
exactly, that's why I like it, and that's why again, like right, like what I was getting ready to say is that a lot of these entities. It's like they can't. It's like they can't be talking out of both sides of their mouth, or can't be picking and choosing when it's absolutely convenient. I mean, now yes, we have seen beefs before that necessarily didn't escalate to someone's house or mansion getting shot up, even if it was like a little minor cat fight or a little minor uh, verbal assault. It is what it is. You just shrug it off.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if it was that in that sense, like, oh, like somebody say, oh, shut the fuck up. It's like, nah, you shut the fuck up and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And going back to what Irby said about Rick Ross was the main one who started. Yeah. And I'm like, and my thing is this, you know what? And it's, to me, and I'm also looking at it from an angle is you have a lot of these veteran rappers, yeah, that will, because of their position, whether it's in life or even in the industry, they're not necessarily as relevant as they once was when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they too have been on the been been under scrutiny for something, especially Rick Ross. I'm like, your name is basically based off the regular free rate Rick Ross.
Yeah. Plus, he was a CO, so he pretty much was a cop. He pretty much was a cop. So I mean, the whole facade, and it's like, if you really gave him that work, like even to his face, what can he really do? What can he really say but eat that? All he can do is take that, So he's a cop. I'd be scared to say something around him. He might get you locked up.
Well, that's the thing. Hell, didn't 50 say something to him? And wasn't no smoke directed at 50 like that?
Yeah, he's more strategic. He's petty, but he's
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was just watching that, man. There's a lot of people having their own 2 cents on what all happened, from all kinds of stuff, from like is this something staged that Drake did to get out the beef? I'm like, that's going a little too far just to get out of a rap beef. I don't think that's the case. Somebody getting shot seriously, like for real, like that's not something you
because I'm like, because now what you have is people playing life or it's a matter of life and death.
Yeah. And then also I heard that it was something that had nothing to do with Kendrick. It was something within the whole Toronto area. I don't know who or what, but it was something local that maybe him and people there had issues or whatever. Also, his OVO store got vandalized in London. So that was like a whole different country. So it's just some weird stuff. I don't know how, but the main point is, regardless of the behind the scenes and what actually led up to the events that happened earlier today, the main thing is, the whole pettiness towards him and the attacking who he is, and just the people who are talking about, oh, he has like these black kids, even though they're mixed too, but they got a black mom, and oh, he has these kids these other kids are illegitimate, and he only wants to show his son Adonis because he's the white kid. It was just ridiculous. He's not like us, they're not like us. I'm like, who is they? So if you're attacking him, you're attacking your own wife. You attacking all these other, why? Because they cape for you in that disgusting, degenerate culture.
What's going on, Malaysia?
Or whatever. So because they cape for you and do your bidding in that disgusting cultural background, all of a sudden they're like you. But if they have any bit of self-pride or dignity and have their own perspective and stance, they're not like you all of a sudden. Really? Seriously.
Right. Because
this type of mental health that these people have, lack of mental health, I should say. but yeah, I mean, screw him. At the end of the day, the man can't even get enough. Never had a number one hit single ever, ever. So he can't get it on his own. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we know why. We know why. Shit ain't hot. It's not popping. So who cares? But yeah, I mean, like I say, I hope they find out more details of what happened with that shooting incident. But I mean, it's real like that, man. It's real. But the venom wasn't just for him. It spreads out. Like I said, it starts out with one person, and then that venom eventually, from what they start with, spreads to other people. And that's how the colorism, prejudices, whatever have you, it stay alive. It's like they keep feeding it. Just keep feeding it. So I don't know, man. But yeah, the hate I think comes from uh how can I say? Like the hate comes from not having a real stance in your own life to a high degree and take having to have a defense mechanism to lash out at something due to uh uh, uh your own shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? Or what you want to be, what you claim you are, but you have in deficiencies and stuff like that. So you want to take that out on and calling people colonizers. But like I was saying, a real colonizer, you have nothing for them. You love it. You love it.
Oh yeah.
Love the
Oh yeah.
shit. So just shut your freaking mouth, shut your childish mouth, and keep it moving. You know.
And you know, though, to me, those are the ones that want to breathe them. That basically, whether they want to admit it or not, want to breathe themselves out,
Yeah.
contrary to belief.
Yeah,
But
might
yet,
as well.
but they project that. But they project that onto everyone else.
Yeah,
And
better.
uh, I'm like, again, where in history or where, as a matter of fact, does that, go pretty much goes against what you're saying or goes with what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, what have you seen? Because
Yeah.
so far, again, that's just a whole bunch of hogwash and people like, again, like people wanting to rewrite history or pretend stuff didn't happen.
Mhm.
I truly believe, people like that sell their souls. I mean, you could say, well, people in the industry to a
In
degree may
general,
sell
yeah.
their soul. I'm like, yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely believe that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the hate comes from inner hate of self, and then it turns into external hate uh of others, deflection of their true nature to not actually be men. So they gotta lash out on others. You know what I'm saying? But don't let anybody else have and like I said, I ain't gonna blame people for their own downfalls, but taking on too much of a culture to a degree that it starts making you do things and move in directions that are detrimental to you. I can't co-sign on that, especially with him. Like, you can kind of notice that he kind of moved more towards this street element and this other type of stuff as years have gone by. It probably hadn't been for the best for him.
Right, right.
It eventually leads up to wanting to prove himself, and I get that part. I get the whole bravado thing as a man, but at the same time, it's just the low frequency you get trapped into, and I think he became a victim of that, of his own low frequency he was being in or whatever, instead of letting some stuff go. But that's still no excuse for the hatred that he got, and as a proxy, other mixed and light skin, particularly males, like you say, got uh for nothing, you know, for nothing.
Oh yeah, and again, and because we having this conversation now, um, even the real question, another question would come in. Well, do you think that again, this sort of is the right time now to start, to start forming amongst ourselves? I'm like, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I would say, I mean, even on this space,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Yeah, I would say that. I'm sorry, Emma. I mean, cut you off. I was looking at Irby's comment. Yeah, that's what tripped me out too about the weekend. Now, isn't the weekend biracial? Anyone? I swear he is.
I'm not. I know he's.
I swear he is. I
I
swear
know
he
he's
is.
some form of African.
Yeah, I swear he is. He gotta be because he looked too different to not be, and for him to be in the mix like that. Now I know they got their own beef, so it has nothing to do with the whole racial element. That's some Toronto other stuff going on. I don't know, but yeah, him to be on the same side as all these others talking, spewing this stuff. I'm disappointed. I actually like his music, honestly. Um, and for him to be on the other side like that with the ops, just jumping in. Like I said, it may be some personal stuff, but hopefully he not into the whole colorism thing either. I would not think so. But yeah, but that was a disappointment, if
Right.
he is mixed or biracial. Well, he's clearly mixed, but I don't know if he's biracial or not. But in any event, even
Right.
being that's the disappointment right there. So yeah, about the whole community thing. Like I said, my thing is it's touchy because like you can't write off family, you can't write off people that care about you. You can't even write off good people that are monoracial. You can't really just write people off in life. You know what I'm saying? You never know who you need, but then on the other side, those that show themselves, you can declare who you are, and then after that, those who show themselves a certain way after that, then you can go, towards like
Hey, what's
saying,
going on, Jose?
"Hey, how's it going, Jose? How you been, man?" Um, Yeah, then but yeah, I mean it's always under the surface. Like I say, it's always gonna be those moments. Like you could be going on with your life, just doing normal things, and there'll always be those moments if you get around, what I mean, and are too many people and too many set environments or whatever, and especially if you haven't been in them in a while, like you'll get to those spaces where yeah you will start getting that energy again of that those situations,
Oh
and
yeah.
that'll trigger you to say, well, yeah, we do need, but you don't want to be reactionary about it either. You want to,
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah, you want to like have something or whatever, like a community online, off, whatever. So yeah, I mean it's always a good time for it. It just depends on um how you're able to work that out and in your personal life, and as far as how much of yourself are you willing to give towards a cause. Some people have a lot of time, some people don't. But the key thing is to keep your mind open, uh, keep your mind open for not just for your own struggles or whatever, but for even other types of causes and stuff. Like my thing is the whole all the issues. Like you can't be, in my opinion, I'm gonna say you can't, but it's hard to be like so laser focused on one aspect of who you are. Because it can really drive you crazy if you think
Oh yeah.
in
Oh
real.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be a little more open-minded and nuanced on your entire life. But when things arise like that, have a stance already. Find people who have that stance, like what you're saying, a community, and have that to fall back on virtually and in real life. That's important. It's important.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I was also looking at a previous comment that Irby wrote about look at who all these rappers' wives are and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like for every rapper there is, I can't necessarily say that, again, you won't find a rapper whose wives or girlfriend resemble each other in some way.
Yeah, I mean that would be the shocker. That that would be like, oh man, I believe what you're saying. Like, right on. Well, right. And they used to say, "Hey, right on, okay, brother, man, you got it." Because
And again, and even early on in this space where because we also had to sort of like weed out certain people that'll just be like, oh well, I like the women but hate the men, but they like the men but hate the women.
Hmm.
You'll have that aspect of it too.
Yeah, we know
But
where it's coming from, but yeah, that's why a declaration of self is so important off the top. So you have that declaration of self. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna fall into what things were in the past," and that was my definition of self. Like you gotta like do that like all the time. Like teach your kids that if you have any on who they are, and go from there. And don't let others define you. You know what I'm saying, or even believe that they have the power to do so. All that's to me that's an important step, to end a lot of the other stuff. Even if gaslighting is involved and all that stuff, you got to take a stand, because you'll be surprised if you take a stand long enough, people will get used to you taking that stance and they won't even go down those paths with you. But it takes courage. I know a lot of people, MLS mix, whatever, they're not in a strong position to do so. They may find themselves in environments where it's just not it's not going to benefit them on their day-to-day lives, right now. But hopefully they can get there. That's what these spaces we're supposed to be all about. You never know
right.
where someone's at in their stage in life or whatever. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Look, Blasian, come on, man. Wow.
What is that? Is
Then your baby mama Blasian Tyler still get attacked. I
I
guess
don't
he's referring to Tyler as Tyler the South African singer.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
it's all good. But yeah, though, but then again though, but then again though, and we also, again have a lot of people that will play both sides of the fence, like that's gonna do anything to change for the better. And when they realize that it's not necessarily that simple or soft cut and dry as they make it out to be, then they too will be, again, they get caught in the crossfire.
Hmm.
And and I'm thinking, where did all this, again, it got to the point where now it's, oh well, yeah, you're one of us, but yet when it's convenient, oh, you're not one of us. So it's like, okay, well, you give us, okay, you'll take us, but if we somewhat mess up or don't mess up when it's convenient for you, oh, you don't want us back?
If you have your own mind and actually have a whole sense of self and proud of that, then yeah. I mean that's for a lot of groups of people. But yeah, I mean that's the kind of psychology going on. It's usury type of dynamic. It's pretty much usury, just being used dynamic thoroughly. You know,
Oh, yeah.
uh, yeah. I mean, the opposite of that would be MLS men calling shots or whomever throughout. You know, and
And,
that's not happening. So
and you already know that there's people out there that's gonna hate that with a passion.
well, I mean,
And
yeah.
so, and again, and so they'll basically will, and as far as that using, because there's a lot of misusing and abusing going on.
Hmm.
And again, I've always been, get taught in order to lead, you do have to have people that's willing to follow. But I'm getting a sense of people are just following the blind,
Hmm.
leading the blind.
Blind leading the blind. Yep. Man, heard that.
Basically, no, basically nobody can see.
No.
But but yeah, though. But I'm just like, and at this point, and we definitely really shouldn't just definitely not give in or give the benefit of pretty much not sell ourselves short just because people don't like it, especially in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jose, yeah, true, but we was also, again, having a discussion really about the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar situation where Drake's mansion was shot up. And again, we get that, yeah, that's an issue happening in the US, but you have people that's defending that and talking to like, talking either they're dismissing it or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But and that's that's the part that's frustrating too, because no matter what, you just can't necessarily just be who you are, let alone as a human being, and just live life.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's for most people. That's for most people. Can't just be a human being and live life. It's becoming tougher and tougher every day.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
And again, and some people, well, how come you ain't saying nothing? Again, I'm like, first of all, Drake did nothing to me, and secondly, if you were to ask, well, you weren't always a fan. I'm like, no, I wasn't always a fan. No, I admit that I wasn't. Not because I didn't like him as a person, but the thing is, people grow on you over time.
Yeah.
But I don't want that again. It's not like, again, even when I wasn't necessarily his biggest fan, I don't really consider myself a fan, but I sort of, I pretty much again support what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, now, yeah, we can talk about the whole Chris Brown situation and blah, 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 but he does have ties to Memphis. And the
Yes,
thing is, too,
his father's from Memphis.
yeah, and my dad is also from Memphis.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. And I was messing with him one time. I was like, so y'all don't know each other? No, we don't know each other, but
They're not
I
around
had,
the same age, are they?
yeah, they are. They
Oh,
are.
okay. 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 Cool. Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen, again, I'm sure he's seen men like me, and then I'm sure I've seen men like him. It's just something. It's just something about, again, I guess people that come out of the same city in the same state, and it's thinking that, oh, everybody, they all must act like that. It's like, nah, nah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Irby, he sure did. He bodied a man. And that is the definition of, if you're gonna make a beef song, that's the definition of it. Just no, not too many subliminals, just straight direct to the point. And he's a
So,
sing.
good night, Jose. Thanks for
Yeah,
stopping by.
all right. All right. Yeah, yeah, Chris Brown is like he said, he's a singing, well, he said N-word, but he's a singing guy. He's not even a rapper. And yes, he did body him. And he was right. And all he could do is have his mouth wide open afterwards. Quavo. Yeah. That's all he could do is have his mouth wide open in awe and shock because he can't do anything about it. That
Right, right.
yeah.
But and that's the thing too. And it's like, and anybody, again, and anybody who's listened to Quavo and know who Quavo is about will say, yo, man, like he's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, we'll come across an annoying person somewhat on a regular basis, just to be like, oh man, this person is annoying. Like they need to get taken down a peg.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with him, it was just they must have did something to really tick Chris off, to go in like that, that was pretty. That was personal and vicious. That diss track he made.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But
But
then it's like, but still, again, like, and they still love using the same old stereotypical, talking points of or arguments of y'all soft, y'all feminine. Well, basically, the ones that's crying in the car right now tends to be a lot more sensitive than the one that's retaliating.
yeah, it's like poking the bear until the bear pokes back, and
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
rises up. Now all of a sudden, the bear was the problem. The bear is
Oh,
violent.
oh
The bear is violent. Not you. The bear is violent. The bear assaults, not you. You're not assaulting anyone. The bear is doing the assault. So yeah,
in Caribbean island, Blasian and Douglas,
Douglas,
Cooley,
Cooley,
Doug,
yeah.
yeah, Coolie men seen as soft, even though they are lighter or darker.
Oh, okay. So they basically have a wider range of who they are, and
Yeah,
but they still get the same treatment no matter what skin tone. Well, I mean, you know what? With that, I would say, okay, yeah, getting treated as soft is not good, but they're not being biased about it.
no,
Yeah. So you're not biased about it, and you going by like, I don't know how somebody acts, or how somebody responds to something, or something like over a period of time. That's different, but it's fair. But just to attack just because you look a certain way or a certain background, that's the main point right there that we're talking about. The inconsistency in it. You fair is fair. So, but
but you know what though, but then again, and this just came to me just now that because even before the Drake thing, it was J. Cole and Kendrick that was basically going at
yeah.
it. It's funny when
Yeah.
Drake, I mean, not Drake, but when J. Cole apologized.
They call him soft.
Yeah, yeah,
And now everybody's saying today, the smartest person in this whole beef was J. Cole. He dodged a bullet. He was the smartest guy out of them all. Now he's smart. When they see
yeah.
how
Not, but when he was, retaliating or
yeah,
defending himself.
yeah. Now that they seeing all this extra crap happen, he's the smart guy. He was the P word a while ago, but now he's the biggest P word and destroying his records now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the craziest part too. So it's like, so in order to be, and like I said, being in a certain occupation and where your craft definitely has to be perfected, is now turned into something that got somebody has to see blood. Blood has
Yeah.
to be on your hands, apparently. I'm like, so I guess that's what you want to be remembered as, just basically seeing your own blood. I'm like, with the same thing. Now, again, and I'm not one to disrespect the dead, and I never will. But the last thing that we need probably right now is another, or what the world needs is another what, Tupac or Biggie, or
Yeah,
let alone
we don't need that type of hype. Yeah, that
no, no.
birds. Uh yeah, that'll really
But,
rock
but
it.
yeah, but
Although people are saying this quote unquote beef that has escalated here is at that level. It is, because it got real bad. And like I said, I had to do the timeline from first to last. So it started with what was it? Actually, it probably started about a few months ago, by almost half a year ago. That still haven't listened to that song, that first person shooter song with Cole and Drake. I haven't heard it yet, but that's allegedly what kicked off all the other stuff. And then the like that came with Future and Kendrick and Metro and them. And then who was that? And then all the others chimed in. And then Drake had his release against first he got at what was that? First he got at Fat Boy, what's his name? Ross. And then
oh,
they
Rick
had
Ross.
yeah, they had a few sparring sessions, and then it got to, Cole was in it for a minute. He dropped out, and then Kendrick came and they did the thing. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, my main point was, yeah, they were talking about J. Cole, but like, yeah, he took the high road. He got black.
Exactly. And so and I guess when you take the high road, now all of a sudden your strength and your credibility as a man is in question, and let alone not just because you're a man, but what you look because of what you look like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if that's the case, well then perhaps who's making these critiques need to be looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I heard so many retarded is not the word. I heard so many low comprehension, low frequency examples of representing the culture of rap and hip hop, and oh, it ain't no rules in rap beef, and this ain't no mixed race situation. This is how real 100% black culture is. It is dirty, it's grimy, you'll get hurt. I'm like, and this is what you want to represent your
Yeah,
culture
like, and I guarantee
like,
you,
God damn it. Like, please come with some more stereotypes. I'll just listen to different people's uh streams about this shit. I'm like, these people are garbage.
yeah, and I'm like,
These are grown ass people. These are grown men. These are grown men.
and my thing is too now. Let's just say hypothetically, if it wasn't Drake or J. Cole,
Mhm.
hypothetically, put Eminem in that category. Would you say he had to still have the same smoke for him? Probably not.
No, it's like a barrier. It's like a subconscious or conscious psychological barrier never to go there because and it's more than being a p word. It's
Right.
it's basically, in my opinion, is basically kind of like, I don't know. It's like some kind of spirit over these people that just stops at a certain point instead of going all in on anyone that attacks them on certain aspects. It's like they're like spiritual p words, if I can say that, if that makes sense. Maybe not physically to a certain degree, but maybe so. Who knows? But they definitely are spiritual p words because like the whole spirit is broken down to not even try to defend against certain people or attack, whereas it's all in for others. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
and you know what though,
very easy to figure out over time. Doesn't take too much either, too much time. But yeah, I heard some of the ignorance and talking about the culture and blah 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 blah. And people, dancing to, certain songs and shit. I'm like, this is stupid. Stupid.
yeah, music of today is not the same as music in it's not the same as it was back in that 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s era.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's gotten to where um, whenever it's like I hear a modern day song now, I'm just like, I don't even know who this person is, or
Yeah.
don't even know why this is even getting radio play. But
Yeah.
yet we'll use though. Well, it was the same back then. Yeah, but not to the extent as it is, today. I mean, you even got people now, hell, these certain folks now, these youngsters that don't even want to pay homage to the people that came before them. Don't even want to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to. They think they just got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Honestly, fellas, I'm disappointed. J. Cole, I wanted that battle. Oh, wax. These are the biggest non-problematic rappers united now that are successful in hip hop, and also Kendrick did him dirty.
Yeah.
But you know it though. But 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 at the same time, but even but then again, we all need to all have to somewhat look. It's like look, it's not even really that. It shouldn't have never really gotten to this point to where it is serious, to where somebody's life could have been on the line. I mean, you never know. Drake's son could have walked outside and easily got grazed by one of them bullets.
Yeah, they say he was there. This is just all hearsay because I was at work on a lunch break and I had my computer with me, my
Hey, what's
laptop.
going on, lovely mix?
How are you doing, lovely mix? I said, I'm glad MLS men are addressing this Kendrick and Drake. Yes, yes, most definitely. It just came to a head. It just really came to a head, and we had to speak on it. Just too much. Between Future and just people in general, just too much. We watched it build up, but yeah, it was just too much today. But yeah, I happened to see something. I was just looking at YouTube. I'm like, no, not YouTube. It was I think news, Yahoo News. I saw a headline
Yeah.
said Drake's house got shot. I'm like, oh snap. And I knew what was going on. And I looked at the details and they did mention about the whole Kendrick Lamar beef on the Yahoo News. And then I of course went to YouTube and see what I could find. I saw like the news reels and the local news in Toronto there and stuff. And man, that was crazy. I'm like, my goodness, is it coming to this? And that was like, oh,
Right.
I'm
And
like, this.
like I was stating earlier that yeah, I wasn't all like I said, I wasn't always the biggest Drake advocate, and not too many people that's gonna start off, they probably gonna, say the same thing. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I don't want again, it's not like, even back then, um, I didn't want nothing, serious to happen to that, nothing serious to happen to him. Like I don't want him shot. I don't want him ran over.
Yeah.
Want nothing that's gonna put his physical health in jeopardy, let alone his family in jeopardy.
Yeah, it pretty much stayed on wax for the most part. There's a lot of personal things, jabs from both sides. And like I said, it's amazing how it got more and more personal. And then as soon as it started to really get nastier and nastier, like real information was dropped or alleged information was dropped. Here's some shooting. So I don't know all the details. I can't say that it's totally related. It's just a coincidence at the timing, of what happened today versus all these last couple of weeks of that buildup. So who
Hey,
knows?
hey, oh, you know what, Carl? Hey, something just came to me just a few minutes ago, and I forgot about that. And I probably should have mentioned this before. Where I think it was something Kendrick said either in a tweet or even one of his lyrics that he was dissing Drake and J. Cole on, where he said, I hope we still friends. If not, then I may have to YNM or something. He mentioned some person with a mugshot. And
Hmm.
I don't know if this guy is still living or he's no longer existing. But to me, it just seems like this guy must. I don't like I said. I don't know if he's dead or he's locked up, but basically something serious happened. So I'm thinking,
Mhm.
hmm, this is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
People just play on stereotypes, just which stuff up because communities should know better enforcing stereotypes. Yeah, like I said, but then again, like I said though, because again, because when the numbers are not necessarily really in your favor like that, as much as you should, of course, it's going to be easy for people to come and pick on small pickings.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, but the thing about it is, because we've been under scrutiny for so long. I mean, especially here in the United States. Um, I mean, hell, you even got. I mean, hell, even some white women, was even speaking out about this. Like, I say,
Really?
can't.
Oh man, where did you
Yeah.
see it? Like TikTok or something?
No, this was not on TikTok, but like people who I come across on a personal basis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I'm like, and I'm looking at them like, are you serious? You literally can't be serious right now.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but please do not reproduce. No, yeah, do not reproduce anymore.
What their comments were like off base or just ignorant or something?
A bit of both.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah, like I'm like, okay, fine. You don't have to be the biggest Drake fans. I'm not saying that, but don't be talking, getting showing them, giving them all types of credibility and validation because you believe they did you, whoever did the deed was doing you a favor when you never, and somebody also stated that this could be, and I don't know, I'll have to take it with a grain of salt a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised that this could also be works of the elite.
Yeah, you know what? It's all kinds of is like I say, when you hear details and you hear um kind of like so for me, I heard different details. I heard details as far as like the news reporters like kind of in the court of public opinion kind of pushing the whole yeah Kendrick Lamar he had a beef with Kendrick Lamar and that could have possibly escalated something as though like in the public eye they're basically giving you that consciously without like looking at any other facts. They had they had like different versions of did somebody hear a shooting? Nobody in the neighborhood heard a shooting. He's in a neighborhood where everybody knows each other, but nobody heard nothing. Or did they hear something? It's a lot of like it's a lot of as of right now, it's a lot of information that's kind of like twisted or not on the not totally the facts are not all out is what I'm trying to say.
Right, right.
So because of that, it's a lot of hearsay and stuff, and that's leading to all kinds of speculation. Now, um, can a guy like that have plans behind the scenes, including a beef that is for a higher purpose? I don't know. Weirder things have happened in life, you know. Weirder things and situations have occurred before where people found out later on that yeah, people, such and such did XYZ because this they needed this to happen or people wanted this to come forth now, or whatever. I don't know. That's just to me, I don't know about that aspect. But as far as like several stories in between a rap beef, local people he got into it with, I think what's his name, the weekends from Canada, or whatever. He's in the same area with his managers.
Yeah.
The elitists, like you said, it's several angles. He is Irby. He is, and you cannot rule that out. I don't want to go super conspiracy, but you can't rule that out. But there's like at least I counted 3 or 4 different angles at what could be the cause behind his bodyguard getting shot or whatever. But I mean, we won't know until later on, and even what we get may not be a full truth. But the fact of the matter is, like I was saying before, AMR, irrespective of what behind the scenes led to this, the reality of all that stuff, the energy that was put behind him, and the people who even blogged about it or spoke about it, they really feel that way about lighter skin or mixed race people. That is a fact. The other stuff that happened, we don't know. But the feeling, the energy that was given out, and who took what side or whatever, that's real. That's
Yeah.
real. That definitely is real. And it
And
AMR, it doesn't take too much to bring it out. Doesn't take
no,
it's right on the surface. Doesn't take too much. So that
none whatsoever. And because it's like, okay, now, and even with the comments that about the difference between Drake and J. Cole. One is leaning that Drake is not ADOS, but J. Cole is. But the thing is, though, I'm like,
Well,
well,
I'm talking about how is Drake not ADOS and his father's from Memphis, Tennessee, and that's why I got thrown off. Yes, he was raised in Canada with his mother, but
yeah.
father was his father. Thank you. His father was a musician from Tennessee. He is ADOS. Thank you. He is. So
And I think that's where people are still kind of, I don't want to say on the fence, but they're kind of like, getting con- either confused or don't really necessarily know too much about that because they hear so much about him spending so much time in Toronto than he does in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm like, well, of course, because he spent more time in Toronto, Canada, more so than Memphis, Tennessee.
yeah,
Because
but
he would know more. Because he would know more about Canada culture than Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee culture.
true. Yeah. Um.
They were calling him a Canadian culture vulture. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I
Well, when you're a child actor and that's your background. I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's the thing too. Is like people forget that he was in what's that show? Oh yeah, Degrassi.
yeah.
And you know what though, and because I didn't necessarily really watch it. I think I must have watched the early part of Degrassi before he came on. And when he came on, I was like, wow, he doesn't necessarily look recognizable as he does now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And but hey, you got to start somewhere. Um, because what I was also going to mention before all this, Drake and J. Cole was pretty much they've been working together. They've been in the studio for. I'm like, oh shit, this could be a collabo album coming up
Mm,
with
yeah.
two MLS men.
Well,
And it could have again. It could have been, hey, well, you just needed just a couple more to the mix, and y'all good.
yeah. And it got foiled.
Yeah, yeah.
It got foiled and spoiled by others or whatever. So
And that's the thing. And you know what's funny is that, and even some forms of the BC, right?
mm-hmm.
It's funny that they say it's like, well, we all need unity. I'm like, yeah, I agree, we do. But the problem is you only use it when it's necessarily for your neck of the woods, not
Yeah.
necessarily on the neck of the woods for everybody else.
Everybody, yeah. Yeah.
Like unity is never appropriate, just like the word victimizing is never is appropriate for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why we got somewhat into this boat in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Because again, because a lot of y'all don't want to admit that. Because a lot of you don't want to admit that some of y'all got a deep seated jealousy and envy of those because you're not doing or putting in that work in comparisons to what others are doing. So the only thing you could do is pretty much ride off of their success stories.
Yeah.
Just to say, oh, I was a part of that. I was a part of that. No, you wasn't. What you did was you tore it down. That's how you became part of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
True.
but they don't have to. But they don't have to take my word for it. I'm just. Oh, you just dissolve feminine MLS man. Yeah, that could have your girl within a matter of heartbeats, and you still be crying, talking about you gonna shoot me up. But I'm not. You know what? I can't even imagine the misery of these low life crab in the barrel bums.
Yeah. It must be a sad existence. wouldn't know about it, but they must have a sad existence. Yeah, you don't really know how sad it is until you get on the internet and deal with some of these people, you know. Um, but so he's saying that J. Cole and Chris Brown are cool. They can still have a collab.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they could do that.
I mean, cause yeah, he been collabing with everybody else.
Yeah,
Even some collabs that he had, either I question it, but at the end of the day, it, him and again, at least him and whoever he's collaborating with is making that money.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna, take money off anyone else's table. I'm like,
yeah,
do you? But
yeah,
at the same time, we still kind of want to see something that hasn't really been seen before.
yeah.
I'm like, hell, put Drake, J. Cole, and Chris Brown all in one album.
Yeah, that'll be that
That-
that
that's cool.
that'll be the
It'll
triple,
blow up. It'll blow up.
yeah, that'll be the triple headed monster right there. Nobody can really deal with that. I don't
No,
care.
they can't.
Yeah, I don't care what collaboration they had. It could be uh whoever. You know what I'm saying? It could be a rap trio of whoever. They ain't messing with them three.
No,
The case.
because again, even when Drake and Chris Brown did the No Guidance song,
Yeah.
after they just put they beef whatever they had behind them, that became the most played song ever, as well as the talked about song ever.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like nowadays you hearing about drive-bys and at his Toronto mansion and security guard getting shot.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't say that that's alleged, but the details are still.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have to wait till more facts come in or whatever. But yeah, some people are saying it's something like totally local. It has nothing to do with the beef. I would think so. You know, some people saying, hey, he was already Kendrick, he was already winning in the beef. He had no reason to do that physically. I'm like, probably not, but you never know how somebody's emotions might take them. You don't know what kind of connections they have either. People don't know. They can come with something and say, okay, logically that doesn't make sense to go from Cali to go through several states to Canada or whatever and go get
Like
us.
I'm like, so you
Pay
really gonna spend all
somebody,
that money on the plane ticket
yeah, pay
to
somebody to do it and then come
so
back and go through the
so
border.
basically you wasted money, a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know who has connections and how petty people are. You never know. I mean, it may not even be rational. Hell, a lot of things you do may not be rational and logical, but at the time, if you lose your cool, you might just make the shit happen. Like I say, crazier things have happened. So, but yeah, I mean, back to your topic, man. The hate, the hate comes from the success. The hate comes from the favor. um the hate comes from the self-actualization that some people say they don't, that some people say that they have, but when they see others manifest it and then not like them, but they want to vicariously like compare themselves to them. That's where some of the hate comes from, in
Yeah,
my in my opinion. That's where it stem from. And not being unapologetically whatever they say they are and really standing in it. That's when watching someone else do them and be that to the fullest, and then they stand in theirs and they're actually happy and content with this. So, and building or whatever, or doing better or whatever. So that's where the hate comes from. The authenticity, the ability to do more. So yeah.
right. And because and again, and because of what we know it as, well, especially me, because and I'm not saying that again, other people in other countries don't go through this, But at the same time, I can only speak on where I'm at because I've seen it, experienced it, and therefore, because again, stuff like this. Um, Not saying that again, nobody's ever ran and did a drive by on me or anything like that, but again, to have that type of vitriol directed at another human being for stuff like this just sort of hits close to home.
Yeah.
And I mean, and again, even I mean, even the women, even with the women,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like again, everyone when you see again, whether if it's a rapper or some form of entertainer with somebody that necessarily really don't resemble them in their image,
Mm-hmm.
that's again, you can already tell, you can already see the hate and the animosity that both the man and the woman is going to face because of who they are, but still will turn around and say that they hate light skinned men or
Mm-hmm.
light skinned men, and so it's like, so we're battling not only white supremacy, but we're also battling not only black people,
Mm.
but whether they're men or women. And you're also dealing with hell, even some MLS women who really can't stand us, who don't,
Preach.
who don't.
Based on stereotypes and just like following them subconsciously to where they're not free thinkers. But
Yeah,
yeah, go on.
they're
Go on.
following the crowd.
Yeah, just following the program. It takes a tougher person not to follow the program, actually, and a stronger person than to follow it and think that you have some kind of advantage in it or whatever. That's why people get so upended. See, one thing about the truth doesn't hate the truth, right? The truth seeks truth and and
Oh
and,
yeah,
act- and actually embraces it. So if you're not of the truth, I'll it's easy to spot over a short period of time if you're not of the truth, if you don't seek it, if you're not of it, if you're not trying to be of it, it's you want to fight against it, you want to cause chaos. So yep.
and I'm like, hell, shoot, and like I said before, I'm like, hell, even shoot, I know in my personal life, whenever I needed help, I was pretty much all on my own. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's a lot of us, not just alone like physically, but a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
alone as far as like how can I say it? Alone as far as like rebooting your environment or whatever that to suit you versus a programmed environment, that you had to that you inherited. So especially if it wasn't beneficial to you, positive to you. So
right, right.
that's loneliness too, not just the physical, but just the psychological, to know that even your group or whatever is something you have to reevaluate and change for your betterment.
Yeah, and you know what though, and aside from that too, I'm like, and even when again, even when I'm seeing whether if it's new people or new coming out with new content like that, sort of like pertaining to this, and even what I see even in my personal life, yeah, there's part of me that somewhat feels a little relieved, but at the same time, it can go away within a snap of a finger. It
Yeah.
really can. So I'm just pretty much sort of am aware of the alert of what's going to come next because it plays, because again it plays out time and time again. So you're like we're not necessarily taught to that, like, y'all don't get no rest. Why? Because y'all don't get any. Because the
Mm-hmm.
problems that you facing and what y'all are experiencing, you turn right around and pass that on to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts.
whether if it's because we and since people want to keep it trill, it's like you already know about keeping it trill since they want like we can take it there because the dynamics between the regular, not just again just everybody else, but mainly sort of even in the BC, the
Uh-huh.
dynamic between one another is not necessarily the best, and they know that it's not necessarily the best. So what they do is that they go and pass it along and make it like, okay, what their experience, we're gonna make sure other people can experience that too.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
pretty much.
y'all want to do y'all misery really must love company.
It does, and it likes to multiply as well. Yes, it
and
does. Likes to multiply.
and again, like birds of a feather, yeah, they definitely do flop together.
Yep.
And
Crab.
yeah, I got oh yeah, let me crabs in the bucket.
Yeah.
Definitely crabs in the bucket. And for every crab, you're gonna have another bottom feeder that's just as worse.
Yep.
But I don't. But apparently, again, I guess that's why we do when we do walk in the room, heads go down, but behind our back, but behind my back, I'm bitter and jealous. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I can be bitter and I'll be jealous. Whatever you need to go to sleep at night.
I'll be that. Yeah. I'll be what you want me.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll be what you want me to be.
Yeah, we'll be whatever you want us to be. Like I said, y'all need something to go to sleep at night, which we all know that that's a huge deflection, gaslighting, shaming tactic that gets portrayed on us a lot more so whew, than any other person I know.
Yeah.
But again, but they don't like it when the tables is turned on to them, and then it's like y'all just be, oh, we want more. I'm like, y'all are glutton for punishment. I'm like, I got news for you. Um, we're not necessarily like your previous dudes back in the day that used to talk all this random bullshit from back in the day. And I really don't want to say their names, but you know who they are.
Oh no, no need, no need. Just keep
But
it
well,
track.
actually, one of them happens to be who used to be a celebrity, and the
Uh,
other one not so much. But he did get I believe arrested in the East Coast.
oh, oh, yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It
So I'm
goes
like,
around.
so people like, so it's like so again, so when they woke up in the bed, hey, Irby, you may have to hit me up, but I'll tell you who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want to give them, now I was really gonna try my best not to cuss, but damn it.
That's lightweight.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
lightweight cursing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
but aside from all that though, yeah, and I'm like, again, and yes, whether people wanna no, just because things ain't necessarily going exactly to they going in their favor. Now it's all the time to pull out guns.
yeah. Like I said, we don't know yet. We don't know yet what was all behind it. And another one was too, somebody was mentioning about Drake had a mole in his camp. And they were saying it was a joke, but I don't know seriously though. Like, did somebody find who the mole was and get at him? at his house. I don't know. That was just somebody saying something, but basically somebody, a rat in his camp, that was passing out information or whatever on him or something, spying on him or something, giving away info. I don't know. That's at a deeper level, but that's allegedly. I don't know, but yeah, all kinds of stories. But like I say, who did that? I don't know, but definitely the energy and um the um galvanization of you not like us, and basically shooting at him as his whole being, as a person. I mean, who he is. I'm sorry, who he is, not what. I mean, I'm sorry. Did I say that right? What he is, but not who he is. So
Right.
he's no
So it's
different
like,
than
so here's the thing too, and I look at it from the standpoint of,
hold on for a second. I was gonna say, AMR, is he's not any different than most people in that industry if you really peel back the layers. In fact, he's probably not even worse than some of their favorite quote unquote legends of whatever. But
yeah, yeah.
because it's because of what he is, as a person. That is why the attacks are what they were, so
Irby say every suspect.
yeah, yeah, I would think so too. I would think so too, man. Damn, I haven't heard that saying in a while.
Everybody suspected. It's suspect.
Yeah, phone check. Yeah,
Like, we here to change your programming. Give me your phone.
man.
I'm like, I'm like, well, I'm like, all I know is that, hey, you take my phone, you ain't gonna find nothing, too egregious.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how things play out. But one
Oh yeah.
thing, even if it's found out that Kendrick had nothing to do with it, the hate's still gonna be there for him. It's gonna be on the surface
Oh
for
yeah.
a minute, so that's not gonna go away. Uh,
But though, and because of that, people are still gonna still somewhat use his name as a guilty by association simply because of that. And
yeah,
you'll have people that will continue to be on the bandwagon, of course. Um, so I'm like, because the thing about it is that it's just like too many names were associated with. It's like, okay, this person, that person, and that person, and that person
uh,
all fell in line of not necessarily not being uh what well, neither one of them like Drake. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
nah, and even for the weekend, and I'm like, nah. And I tried to give this dude the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I tried to like his stuff, and I did. Even when even with some of them high notes I tried to hit, hell, I damn near blew out my vocal cord. And it made hell, how back then when I used to go live and I would sound like I was very stuffy at the nose.
yeah, nasal, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, blew out my nasal passages.
yeah,
I'm like, I'm like, damn, the weekend. I didn't even know it. Didn't know that it was like that, even on even in your end. But anybody can dislike anybody, regardless of whatever walk of life, apparently.
yeah,
And you're not going to always make people happy. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
You
I know
sure?
I always make people happy.
Yep.
That's a. I'm like, hell, even though I'm on the panel again, I'm just having fun. Yeah, I'm having a good time right now. Yeah, at least I get to get to go live and talk about this.
Yeah, yeah. It was like I said, it came to a head, and I saw that, and I was like, man, it's just crazy. Like, but it was really the response of the BC,
Yeah,
uh, and the gloating of it that just kind of like, okay, yeah, I got.
like they were happy and celebrating and powwowing like um that whoever did it did them a favor. I'm like, well, just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot.
Yeah,
If shoe was on the other foot,
yeah,
and
yeah. I
that was
mean,
all
it was disgusting. It was disgusting. If it's on some rap beef, let it be on that. But everything else, it just got out.
right. You know what though? What's funny is that back when what's his name, Nipsey Hussle,
Uh huh.
like even when he got shot, and he was pretty much was working on his business
Uh huh. Well, yeah, he had his
and
own.
fell victim to another gang member.
Yeah, yeah. That's sus. That whole situation was sus. To me, that's another story though. As far as like
You're right. That's
the
different
players,
conversation
yeah,
for.
the players in that situation, it was very sus. Um, I don't know if that was a plan or something on that person, but I don't know. Like I said, we don't really know unless you're there and you got inside info. Other than that, it's just all speculation. Um, but yeah,
But you know though, but as far as I know though, at least Drake can say that well I'm still here. Thanks for everybody who did show and express their concerns, and my kids are okay, and
yeah.
that he may have to tighten up on security though. I will say that.
Yes.
Will
Well, I mean, honestly, if you want to really keep it a buck, the security guard, for what it's worth, he did about all he could do. He did his
yeah.
he did his job, and unfortunately sometimes that is a part of the job, is to take a bullet to the body or whatever. I'm glad that he was, at least had a vest on and he didn't, get fatally wounded or whatever, but still that's a part of it. So for in some instances, so he said the weekend is Ethiopian. I think he has some Arab memory. He probably does. Like I said, I was disappointed in him, for the attacks and ganging up on them. You know what I'm saying? It was low blow, but whatever. Maybe they got some stuff going on. I don't know how nasty it is, but whatever. He better have Navy security now. Yeah. Army and the Navy. Now he probably needs the Marines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
probably
shit.
needs
The Marine, hey, the Marines, they ain't go. Again, they don't do no mediocre job at all.
no Marines are
They will
thorough.
put, they will put their life on the line and take
They
their job serious.
they're upper echelon when it comes to getting the task done and taken care of. The mission, they're upper echelon. And so yeah, he probably needs some off duty Marines.
That's
That
right. But
four.
you know what's funny though, because there was an interview a long time ago I was looking at, and it was on Vlad TV,
Uh-oh,
and Vlad was
not Officer Vlad.
yeah.
Officer Vlad, Officer Vlad, and Officer Rick. Both of them, man. My goodness.
but 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 he was I forget who he was talking to, but he asked the question of, well, how come nobody mess with Drake's dad and he's in Memphis, or mess with Drake when he's in Memphis? I'm like, are you serious right now, bro? That's why people be saying the stuff that they say about you,
Hmm.
but yet you somehow won't want to explain, like, oh, I'm not part of the feds. Sure, sure. Sure,
Yeah,
and just like these people that come on your show and you ask them silly, stupid questions, you don't
yeah.
think they looking back at it saying, "Yo, I don't know why you asking this," but it kind of gives you, mo-
Just like
yeah.
yeah, just like what's his name? Academics, DJ Academics.
Oh
Was
yeah,
Yeah, he compromised. I saw his video on TMZ. I'm like, man, you got a video to TMZ that fast? You the feds, man. You working with them people, man. If you work with them, you working with them people. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. TMZ, all this.
Cohen, Cohen, yeah, Cohen Tail, Ops, and Double Agent ass.
Yeah. yeah, you cross over to that genre, I got a side eye because I'm like, yep,
Like, we should have known you was working for the police.
yeah,
Because every person that we never heard of before, they show up on your shoulder. The next minute they turn up dead.
or in jail,
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
or something like that. Yeah,
Like, well, everybody's saying that I did. I didn't say you did it. All because it does raise eyebrows.
yeah,
So don't assume. So don't assume, sir. Please don't assume. Because if anything, shoot hell, I mean, because if you really want me to assume, that I could say that you was definitely working with Vladimir Putin, and yeah, and I do believe that you had something to do with one of their prime ministers getting killed.
Whew.
If you want me to assume,
No, I don't know about that, but
well, I'm being facetious.
what you say, yeah, Officer Vlad. He knows police and feds watching at KVD. Probably so. Probably so. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like I said, I think a lot of that though was a distraction because it took so long for that info to come out. So I mean, yeah, with that situation, the Pac, Tupac, and KVD, yeah, that was a distraction, man. They sat on that for decades, had that same information. So I don't know.
Yeah, even since it first even started and from the time it ended,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
had plenty of time to have that, to have that stuff, settled, but they chose to let it just linger and go on for too long when it should have been handled way back, way back, like I said, in the mid to late '90s.
yeah. Well, at least the 2000s.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
least. But now it's 2024, and I'm like, wow, I guess it took y'all this long.
yeah,
But aside from all that, though, I'm like, you know what, for I guess, where we go from here as far as, yeah, I mean, MLS, man, we definitely gonna have to definitely continue to do what we do and continue being on our toes. And yes, we definitely already know, and I said myself that we're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea or flavor of the month. I
yeah.
said that not that we're not the flavor of the month, even though that's not necessarily me. I'm shortchanging myself
Hmm.
because I choose not to necessarily along with go with the crowd thing, and I can't think for myself as
Yeah,
my own individual.
yeah. Even when you get comfortable with certain groups of people, you'll have your moments. And you have to step back and like, hold on now. Wait a minute. I'm cool, but hey, I gotta say this. I gotta stand for that. That's not what it is. Well, I disagree, or this is my perspective, and you gonna have to stand on your own a lot of times. That's just the
Oh,
way
yeah.
it. That's what you've been given. Basically. So
And
you
we
gotta.
said, and we could still walk away from and again, we could walk away from all this right now and still be doing well, and yet some of these folks, this is all they have.
Yep, for sure.
But on that note, though, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, AMO.
go ahead and
I'm
call it
kind
a
of
night
tired.
show.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired myself tonight, but yeah, it was good talking to you, brother, and
Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's good to see you. And
things like that, man. When it's when things get that hot, and is you just have to say something about it, put your 2 cents on it, just to balance things out a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
The other stuff is just it's just flat out ridiculous, and you know, like I say, you gotta balance that out and give other angles and takes on something besides the status quo. You
Oh
know,
yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what? Because and that's the thing too. Because I mean, Like, I mean, it'd be one thing that, again, if they just basically just kept it just rap beef, like, again, use your words while using your music. But the fact that, the game of life and death was played,
Yeah,
I'm like, that's just really beyond ignorant to me. I'm looking at that like that's really evil now. And why isn't anybody arrested?
yeah. Well, it's early now, so
But yeah,
yeah, with that. But yeah, we'll see as things go by, the players and the facts and stuff like that. We'll know sooner than later. Who knows? It may just be some surface level info they give, and we may not know the whole story. But one thing we do know: the hatred is real. That's a fact. The
yeah,
hatred.
it's very real.
So no matter the other stuff or not, but yeah, I'll we'll get together another time, brother, man, sometimes or whatever. But it was good talking to you tonight, and
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You're always more than welcome to always more welcome, again to stop by and vice versa.
okay, man. Yeah,
Hmm.
appreciate it, man. All
Oh, I
right,
appreciate it too, man.
take it easy. Bye.
I do the same. But yeah, though, but that's but yeah, though, but you know what? On that note, though, I do want to thank everybody that did get a chance to stop by and chill in the chat, or even even Carl Williams. Thank you, bruh, for hopping on the panel with me. I also want to thank Irby, Blasian, Jose, Future, even people that's in the clouds. Thank y'all too. Like I said, again, this this situation right here was pretty much hot, and therefore, um, again, probably more of this stuff, regardless of what we know to this story, more stuff will be revealed, and it is kind of early to tell everything in one bundle. But all right then, hey, appreciate y'all, hey, kicking it with your boy, and don't know when I'm gonna go. Don't know when I'm gonna go live again, but when I do, y'all definitely would be the first ones to know, and maybe next time I'll let get more people on the panel. And all right, y'all, I'll definitely will see y'all on the next one. Peace.